Okay, so I figured the first test of me recording something, it would be great to discuss something that we're all familiar with, and that way we can kind of focus on how this is done and have something to review if we ever do this. So we're going to talk about how to do a 4-step word problem. As you know, we've done quite a few of these starting in 6th grade. The question is, what is the speed of a cat if, and we're going to put if it covers a distance of 54.2 meters in 4.62 seconds. So let me get this over here. So the first thing I like to do, and I just started this with 6th graders. We didn't used to do this, but this seems to make it a little bit easier for students. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to highlight things that we know in here, like what they're asking for and what they give us. So let's go ahead and pull up the highlighter here. So what is the speed of the cat? So they want to know the speed. So what is the speed of the cat? If it covers a distance of 54.2 meters. So distance 54.2 meters in 4.62 seconds. So you can probably guess that's going to be time. Okay? So let's go back down here and hit our select again. Alright, so the first thing, we've highlighted what they're asking for, so they want to know the speed. So we need to go to our formula page, which looks like this. And the formula page, we're looking for a formula for speed. So as we look up and down here, speed's the first one, which makes sense. That's the first one we learned. So let's go ahead and highlight that so we remember what we're working with. If I can find it here. There we go. So speed equals distance divided by time. Speed equals distance divided by time. So we're going to go back. First step in the word problem, write down what you know. Write down what you know. So again, we're going to go in here. We're going to try to make this as easy as possible so that you guys remember these steps. So we have step 1. Write down what you know. Let's go ahead and hit select again. So what do we know here? So we know distance equals 54.2 meters. Don't forget units. Don't forget units. What else do we know? We know the time. How do we know this is time? 4.62 seconds. If you look at the units, that should tell you. So we have seconds for units and meters for units for distance. Okay? So first step, this is what we know. Now we can also, and this is totally up to you whether or not you do this, but you can also put speed equals question mark, so we know what we're finding. Now again, you don't have to do this part. This part's optional, but it could be well worth it if you are having trouble with these kinds of problems. Step 2, write down the equation you will be using to solve, and this should be formula. Okay, write down the formula you will be using to solve the equation. No numbers yet. So we're solving for speed. So again, look at our formula. Speed equals distance divided by time. Speed equals distance. And we'll use that for a division sign divided by time. So that's step 2. Okay. Step 3. Oops. Substitute the known factors into the equation. Don't forget units. Really important part. Don't forget units. So I go back up here. Speed equals. Okay, so we have distance over here. Go up and find distance up here. So distance is 54.2 meters divided by time down here. So go up and find time up here. 4.62 seconds. Step 3 complete. Step 4, write down the final solution to the problem completely labeled. That means don't forget your units. So, speed equals, so 54.2 54.2 divided by 4.62. 4.62 equals 11.7316, so on and so forth. We round to the hundredths. So remember, your 1 determines what's going to happen to the 3. If it's 5 or greater, this moves up 1. If it's less than 5, it stays the same. So in this case, it's 1, so it stays the same. So it's 11.73. So speed equals 11.73, and units are meters per second, because as we look up here, nothing cancels. Alright, so speed equals 11.73 meters per second. Let's double check our units. So we'll go over here. Units for speed can be meters per second, which is what we got, kilometers per hour, miles per hour, etc. Okay? So we are done. Now remember, one of the things I like to do is draw a shape or something so that we know that's different. That's our answer. Okay? So let's go ahead and draw a really bad shape around that to know it's solved. Okay? So, are there any questions? If there are, there shouldn't be, because we've been over this a million times. So, let's take a look at this and see how we did.